Hello everyone, Dean on the Street, host of the Dean Blechman Show. I'm here in the Big Apple, New York City. Got a great show here today. My special featured guest is Michael Hirshoren. Michael brings over 20 years of experience managing sales teams and developing traditional, digital, mobile strategies for Fortune 500 brands. Michael is currently the co-founder and chief revenue officer for Vertical Mass and serves as an advisor for various startups. Michael Hirshoren, welcome to Dean on the Street today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dean. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. It's great. I was so excited to see you. Our mutual friend, acquaintance, Jeffrey Michelle, said you've got a Dean on the Street has to do an interview with Michael Hirshoren.
Sounds great.
So thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
You bet, you bet. Listen, let's get right to it. You're the Chief Revenue Officer, co-founder of Vertical Mass. Why don't you just share with my audience exactly what is Vertical Mass and what made you create Vertical Mass a few years ago?
Sure. So my partner, Mark Shedletsky, actually founded Vertical Mass and brought me on probably about a year after. And the idea is that in the data marketplace, there are different verticals where someone might own auto data or someone might own CPG data. So Vertical Mass is the idea of being able to be focused on entertainment data. So we help talent, particularly as a foundation, celebrities, influencers, understand who their fans are. And we collect and aggregate that data for them to understand who their fans are, and then also we package that data for advertisers or marketers to use that. So there are two trends that are really happening within advertising. One is automation, and then a subset of that is programmatic advertising. And what's happening is that the advertising industry is becoming automated, and there are systems now where people can go in and buy and aggregate inventory. And one of the most important parts of when you activate that inventory programmatically is applying data to that. So we're the company that first focuses on entertainment, and there have been other companies, a company like Datalogix that focused on CPG, a company like Exalate. A lot of these companies have been acquired by some of the largest tech companies in the world, Oracle, Adobe, Nielsen. So there's a massive movement now because you can collect so much data on an individual person and be able to target that person. A lot of people call that people-based marketing.
Wow, wow. Are you able to share who is a typical client, a typical customer for Vertical Mass?
Sure. We work primarily with the management companies of the talent. So it could be a small management company that manages maybe 10 or 15 different music talent, or it could be some of the largest talent management companies in the world that have hundreds under their management. And so we provide them a platform so that they can actually sign up their talent, and then we start to track all of that fan behavior for them. So it becomes an extremely useful tool for them to, one, understand and aggregate all this data in one place, because if you think about any talent that has a global fan base, they have talent that's on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They have talent that's on their mobile desktop, their e-commerce website, and they have talent that's on their apps. And then they have talent that's streaming their videos or listening to their music. So you have this disaggregated audience that's global.
Wow.
So we help them both individually for their talent understand that, and then they can see at a higher level all their talent in one platform for the first time.
Fascinating,
Yeah,
fascinating.
it's very interesting.
So you talked about entertainment. I mean, it's, listen, you're a lot younger than I am, okay? But, I've seen over the last couple of decades how sports has evolved, especially sports here in North America, the different 4 leagues.
Right.
So I look at these leagues, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, the NFL. I would assume that's not only, I look at sports not just being sports, but basically it's the entertainment industry that they're in. So anything more that you could shed just on that whole area of sports, what Vertical Mass is doing in that area?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the categories that we look at, it's entertainment, so, TV, film, actors, you have music, musicians, we have on the gaming industry, we also work a lot with like beauty and lifestyle and culture, and then you have sports. And if you look at where a lot of that traffic comes from, because advertising is all about reaching the right people, but also accumulating scale and eyeballs. The teams and the leagues represent a large opportunity to partner with them to help them get and understand their data. And so the finance arm of the San Francisco 49ers are actually investors in us, and we help them understand their behavior. So we're starting to work with various teams and also potentially the future leagues to help them understand their fan data. So you have individual athletes that are major athletes that have huge fan bases, and they have major endorsement deals. So we help them aggregate those fans that they can add that additional value to an endorsement deal.
Wow, that's critical.
Yeah.
I mean, for you to be able to, your company, Vertical Mass, to be able to really identify exactly a particular league, or whether it be the 49ers, to be able to really give them data to really understand their customer. I mean, I was in the consumer products industry for 3 decades,
Right.
my family with our company. I mean, it was so difficult to spend advertising, marketing, without knowing ahead of time how it's going to perform, who your customer is. It's just amazing what you and Vertical Mass, what you're able to do with your clients to really identify their customers and their fan base and give them unbelievable data to be able to make smarter and better marketing and advertising and sponsorship decisions.
Yeah, I think Facebook and a few other companies coined the term people-based marketing.
Right.
And the internet is so appealing because it started with millennials, but now there's other demographics where, for the most part, everyone is giving out their information. They're posting things on social media. They're able to track their behavior. Now, they might not be able to personally identify that person, but they'll know that you're a male, you live in Long Island, you're associated with health, or you're associated with entertainment. So there are aspects of where they can start to build profiles on you. And so advertisers are really keen to that. There's a big push now for each advertiser to have their own, what they call DMP, data management platform, so that they can help control that data.
So what's the biggest challenge facing companies or entertainers who are trying to reach really mass audiences today? What's the biggest challenges they're facing?
Well, I think there's 2 things. One is the advertising industry as a whole is in a bit of a disarray. There's a huge shift going on between how consumers are actually viewing entertainment or content. So you see the television world shifting budget from TV to digital, from traditional TV to digital video dollars. And then advertising agencies as a whole trying to figure out what the right model is, because you have technology companies that are basically doing the job better than they can. And then on the entertainment side, which you had mentioned, I think one is content and rights ownership.
Wow.
There's the need, or that if you are a large media company like a Comcast or a CBS or Fox versus a Netflix or a streaming product, do you want to pay for that? And I think Netflix has really proved that. Amazon, there are other companies that are building these enormous subscription-based businesses without advertising. So I think that's another trend that's going on, where if you're someone who is 14 to 30 years old, it's probably more natural to them to look at their mobile device or open their laptop to watch content versus someone like you or I who grew up watching TV in kind of a traditional TV set
Absolutely.
format. So I think those are a few trends that are really kind of shifting and shaping the landscape. And then particularly to our industry, I think the whole reason for our company is to solve a problem around monetization of fan behavior. And if you think of sports teams, leagues, individual talent that have these large global fan bases, we can add an additional $10-15 million of media value to their endorsement deal, or a way to really reach their fans that they haven't been able to do before.
Wow, that's so valuable.
Yeah, very valuable.
Listen, we have so much more to talk with my guest, co-founder, Chief Revenue Officer of Vertical Mass, Michael Hirshoren. We're going to come back, but right now I want you to share with my audience, how do they get in touch with you and follow, get in touch with Vertical Mass?
Sure, I mean, you could find us on LinkedIn, or if you go to our website, it's I believe info@verticalmass.com, and you can reach us and someone will respond to you right away.
Well, we're going to come back again. We're going to come back shortly to the audience. This has been Dean on the Street, host of the Dean Blechman Show. I want to thank all my viewers and listeners for being with us today, and we're going to be back with Michael shortly. Take care. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Dean.